3 messages before today's interview educates and motivates you. First, if you're a domain name investor, don't you have unique legal needs that require domain name technical know-how and industry experience? That's why you need David Westlow of Wiley Rein. Go search for David Westlow on Domain Sherpa, watch his interview, and you can see for yourself that he can clearly explain issues, can help you with buy-sell agreements, deal with website content issues and UDRP actions, and even help you write your website terms and conditions. David Westlow is the lawyer to call for internet legal issues. See for yourself at newmediaip.com. Second, managing multiple domain name marketplace and auction site accounts is a pain. Inevitably, you forget to sign into one and you lose a great domain, or worse. Now imagine using a single, simple to use, and comprehensive control panel to manage all of your accounts. That's Protrata. You can set up search filters, analyze domains, automate bidding, list domain names for sale, buy domains across all major marketplaces. Protrata also has a new semantic engine that builds Google-friendly websites with rich content and network feeds. Sign up at Protrata.com to get 20 free credits and start building and monetizing your domains today. Finally, if you have questions about domain names, where should you go to ask them? The answer is dnforum.com. Not only is DN Forum the largest domain name forum in the world, it's the best. You can learn about domain names and the industry, buy and sell domain names, talk about the domain name news that's happening in the industry, and even meet domainers just like yourself. Register for a free DN Forum account and begin advancing your skills and knowledge today. And when you do sign up, send me a friend request so we can connect on DN Forum. Here's your program. Hey everyone, my name is Michael Seiger and I'm the publisher of DomainSherpa.com, the website where you come to learn how to become a successful domain name entrepreneur directly from the experts. I read a really interesting story in April 2012 edition of Inc. magazine. It was about a company named Wayfair. They started out selling birdhouses in 2002 and today they sell more than 4.5 million products. According to the article, they're the largest online-only retailer of home goods in the United States, and they had sales of more than $500 million in 2011. You've probably never heard of them unless you've either read the article or you know of them by their former name before they rebranded. They used to be called CSN Stores, and I know it because I bought something from them in the past before I even knew what their name was. They built their company on more than 200 niche sites like hotplates.com and everygrandfatherclock.com. Today, they're completely rebranded to wayfair.com, WAYFAIR.com. So today, we're going to learn how to build a niche dropship business, just like Wayfair did when they started, from a man who builds and sells hundreds of custom drop ship websites a year. Joining us is Greg Izzo, the founder of CalWebDesign.com. Greg, welcome to the show.
Welcome. Thank you. How are you doing?
Great. So tell us a little bit about what CalWebDesign.com does, Greg.
Yes. Well, we start out with product sourcing. We have a team that, attends trade shows in Vegas, and they find good suppliers that have dropship programs in place. Off that, then we do, website design, graphic design, custom-built websites. We do SEO marketing. We rank the sites. We add the products to the sites. We basically do a little bit of everything from start to finish.
Okay, so basically you take an idea from a domain name, you build a site around it, you add the products to it, and then what happens to it after you get it ranked by doing search engine optimization, search engine marketing?
Yeah, after the search engine marketing, starts ranking. Of course, get to page 2, page 1. I mean, some dropship sites can see sales of anything from 30,000, 50,000. Some niches that are really good, even over 100,000 a month in sales.
Wow.
The key is, of course, getting to first page, finding good niches with high search volume, and also having a good supplier in place. Supplier is very important.
Definitely. Okay, so we're going to get into all those details about the total sales. You and I had a conversation before this conversation where we actually discussed the profits versus the sales from a website. So we'll get into all the details, but can you give me an example of a website that you've developed, ranked, and then sold, and your customer who bought that dropship website is now seeing nice growth and cash flow?
Yes, for example, one of our clients, he actually purchased Wholesale Sunglasses Palace. Mm-hmm. And he's a distributor of sunglasses. We set him up with a supplier based in Los Angeles. He actually drop ships, to retailers across the U.S. and, internationally. He bought the domain from us. He had us built the site, worked on SEO, and, he's successfully ranking top 20 on Google.
Wow. Okay. So he's not only drop shipping to end users, he's also drop shipping into retailers.
Yes, there's a pretty big margin there on the wholesale end as well. And, a lot of wholesale buyers are repeat business. They don't just buy from you one or two times. They're going to be buying from you weekly or monthly, depending on their sales for their sunglasses. And, it's a pretty good niche distribution. There's definitely good money in it.
Great. All right. So, I mentioned just before the interview that your business, Cal Web Design, produces hundreds of these websites. Roughly, yes. What is the number that you'll develop and sell per year?
I would say per year we are looking right at about 300 sites a year.
Okay. Currently. So I just want to make it clear for the audience that you're in the website development space. You have the expertise in drop shipping, and we're going to find out more about that expertise. But you're not a shop where you just slap up a WordPress template and you call it a dropship site and you can produce hundreds of thousands of these per year. You're actually producing about 300 websites per year that focus on dropshipping and all that's involved.
Yes, exactly. These are, custom coded from scratch. They're not just, not a template off template monster. And, we do a lot of research on the back end too. Our office in Vegas, they attend the trade shows. It's important having, a good team out there, finding good sources, good suppliers. You get out there and you build a site, and you have a supplier that runs out of inventory, and you've already spent $5,000-$10,000 on it, and it's not good. So having going out to Vegas, getting in the trade shows, that you really get the best of the best suppliers. If they're in the trade show spending $5,000-$10,000 a booth, I mean, they're definitely in the game.
Yeah. Okay. And before we dig into the details of this, what does a typical drop shipping site run a customer of yours who wants to get into the business, wants to start drop shipping?
Just for a custom site, we typically we usually do sites and packages where they're buying the site, then usually they buy, say 6 months of SEO, and we, rank them top, 10, 20 on Google. But I would say roughly with SEO, they're going to pay probably about $7,500. Without SEO, you're looking at maybe $3,000 or $4,000, and that includes setting them up with the supplier account, adding the products to the site, everything, from start to finish.
Great. All right, so let's take a step back, Greg. I want to know exactly what drop shipping is. I've heard the phrase before. I'm not exactly sure what's involved. Can you go over that for me?
Yes. Well, a lot of the major retailers like Overstock.com, Walmart, Overstock has about 80% of their products are being drop shipped from third-party facilities. So what that is, it enables someone to build a website, add a drop ship product line, and it's being shipped from a warehouse in the United States that stocks product. And they ship it directly to your customer, so you don't have the expensive overhead. You don't have to drop a couple $100,000 on product.
Right.
You can literally start a business from $5,000-$10,000 and run it from your home or a small office. So it's basically just shipping from a third-party warehouse.
Okay, and so how does that actually work? Let's say that I want to, like Wayfair, I want to start out selling birdhouses.
Yep.
Do you have, let's say that you have a supplier that that manufactures birdhouses and they want to allow other people to drop ship. So you'll create a website for me, Mike's Birdhouses. You'll do this SEO so that I rank high when people search for birdhouses. What technology is the website typically built in that you hand over to me when I purchase that?
We usually build our typical customers, I mean, there's always the Volusion you can go. They charge you a fee for their platform. There's OpenCart, Magento's really popular.
Mm-hmm.
We stick to the free templates. A lot of our customers, they don't like to pay the monthly fee, and you usually can get a good site built on a Magento platform. So we stick to something like that. Magento is, it's a very strong platform. So that's,
I had the founders of now I'm blanking, gift.co.uk on the show, and they built their entire platform on top of Magento. Magenta or Magento?
I think it's Magento.
Magento. And so it's not a content management system, it's a product management system. It's like a CMS, but it's built specifically for products.
Exactly, yeah.
And so that's what you would recommend that somebody operate their system. You can't really operate it off of WordPress or Joomla or Drupal. You need something that's built for products.
Exactly. I wouldn't suggest either of those.
Okay, so they use Magento or they use Volusion or one of the other product management systems, and you then take the products that are coming, I guess they come in some sort of stream, some sort of XML stream account that's hooked up to the supplier, and you connect it into the website?
Exactly. Yes, they come in like a data feed, or you can have we also do the product installing one by one, or by CSV file.
Mm-hmm.
So either way is good. I mean, as long as the products get added onto the site.
Right. Okay, and so that brings in the content, that brings in the pictures, that brings in the titles, the SKUs, everything that they need.
Yeah.
Can I, as the shop owner, add more pictures or add more content to any of the products?
Sure. Yeah, for sure. You can add, you definitely want to use unique content. I mean, the way Google's algorithm is, they're really powering high content. So you definitely want to use high content. You don't want to copy their descriptions. Your own personal descriptions is what's best.
Yeah.
That's very, yeah.
Okay, so let's say that I buy some search engine marketing. I'm buying some Google AdWords until my site gets to the top of the search engines, and a customer comes to the website, they like my birdhouses, and they actually buy one. How does that transaction happen? Is that my website doing the transaction, or is that the supplier doing the transaction?
Yeah. It's not like an affiliate program. You're actually going to charge the card on your own processor. So say the birdhouse you sell it for $50. You charge your customer $50. As soon as it goes through, you send the supplier either an email, or a lot of the the high-tech suppliers, they have an actual program you log into, mm-hmm. and you submit the order with them. And, they might charge you on the wholesale end $15. Mm-hmm. So then, you make the $35 profit. And they ship it directly to your customer, usually within about 12 hours. So, said and done, everything gets done, and, you're out about 5 minutes of your time.
Wow. So I actually need to be in front of my computer for a portion of the day to send the order to the supplier.
Yeah, you do. Typically, we have some guys that run 3 or 4 or 5 sites, and, they can sit in front of their computer for about an hour, during the afternoon or evening, and, maybe run 15, 20 orders and send them to the suppliers and knock it out.
And what happens when a customer of mine has a question about the birdhouses? Like, how thick is the wood on top of the birdhouse? Because we've got woodpeckers and they,
right. Hopefully the description's good enough to cover that. But if it's not, they might just shoot you an email. We have a lot of people that email. Uh-huh. Maybe 1 out of 20 customers might call just to make sure someone's on the other end. But, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Okay, so I need to set up a phone number that I'll put up on my website if I'm going to support that. I need to answer emails from customer service coming in. If the product gets shipped out, does it show up from mikesbirdhouses.com, or does it show up with the name of the supplier?